We will take the moon. We will take the moon. And then no one will have it. And then the world will be all weird for a little while as the oceans spin up. And then everything will go normal and flat and boring. But the night will be darker. The moon. Thank you for the bits, Anya. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Chat. So, well, before we get started here, I have a question. If I steal an idea from, the lovely, 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 Cottontail, VA, with her idea of, doing a full-on character thing when people raid, maybe when we start, and have do, like, character scenes, do you think they would be mad? And do you think I'd get in trouble for stealing that? Or can I do that? Because I think it's cool. What do you think? Finger touchies. I think it's cool too. But like, they're big. And, I worry that they're going to be, like, offended that I stole their totally original idea. Which, I mean, every idea is just another idea reshaped and learned from. Oh, yes, it is cheaper to buy bits on your laptop. But I can't ask them. They're too big, and there's no way to ask them. Like, how do I ask them? I don't think you can really switch it up. I mean, like, the idea itself is do a character when people raid in a different scene. Like, and give credit. Yes. I mean, like, I could do different scenes, and I guess, like, they really can't own the idea of doing a character when people come in. But, like, it was just so unique and so cool. Like, I just wouldn't use their character, obviously. But... I kind of did. I did a very thing of... we'll talk about my fridge in a second. I did do a post where I was like, oh my god, the other day I rated Cottontail VA and it was so incredible and I love this thing they did and I'm like really tempted to steal the idea, but I added Cottontail in it and I'm like, hopefully they'll be like, if they like it, if they like the post and I'm like, yes, they've seen that I said I want to steal the idea. But I did add that at the very end. So, who knows? And maybe they hate me and don't want to know that they look at my stuff. So, yeah. Maybe I'm not big enough to get their attention. Anyways. Fine. We'll talk about the fridge. Okay, chat. Are you ready for this? See, like, there's a... I can message them. Wait, since when can I message them? I thought they'd had messages closed. One second, chat. 1 sec. All right, I messaged them, chat. I said, hey, wouldn't normally message randomly, but wondering if you'd have any issue with me stealing the cool thing you do with a voice-acted character when people raid in. Like, would do all my own characters, of course, just don't want to very obviously take something so cool without asking first. And there we go. Hopefully they'll say, yeah, that's fine. Or maybe they'll be like, no, fuck you. Or, I mean, honestly, they're big that they probably would just ignore it if they don't want me to do it. And if they ignore it, then they ignore it, which is totally fine. And then I'll figure out something on my own to do, you know. Anyways, hi everybody. So, hello. Thank you, Savvy Addy, for getting first. Thank you, Ivory, for getting second. Thank you, Anya, for getting third. Vampire, thank you so much for the bits. Anya, thank you so much for the bits. Twice now. I really appreciate that. And let's go through and say hello to everybody. You ready? All right, Vampire, hello, Ivory, lovely to see you, one of my favorite nerds out there, you with your space stuff. Hi, Pink, good to see one of my favorite artists. You don't have the thing. Pink, can you DM me and remind me to give you the artist badge so that you can have the artist badge? Because you do art for me, so you should have the artist badge. Hello, Echo Rose Nova. Hello, Aura. Hello, Gibbets. Hello, Nix. Hi, Gibbets again. Hello, Cat the Decimator. I saw you join the Discord. Very happy to see you there. How dare you not give me a notification for when you went live? That sounds like a you thing. You can turn on my notifications. I'm also on Twitter. I didn't post it going live on Twitter. God damn it. Okay, apparently I'm supposed to be doing this. And I like doing it as a retweeting of my schedule. So where is my schedule? Chat. I am such a good streamer. You don't even know. Hello, Sav Salad. I see you sneaking on there. August 4th. It's not August 4th. Where did my last schedule go? Media. Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday. Hello, Desi. Hello, John. Hello, Spell. See, Spell, I am noticing you this time, and I'm making sure that I actually do respond to seeing you. Wait, why are people moving around on this map? You're making me paranoid. Don't be moving around on this map. I had my D&D map still open, and people were moving around on it. Hello, Calypsy. Lovely to see you. Loved your makeup today. Hello, Lilypad. Mwah. Hello, Amdis. Hi. I'm doing good. Hello. Oralween. I will keep wanting to say your name's Rural, but it's not. But I do like the ween part of it. You're going to have to walk me through how to say your name. Hi, Neeks would ask because they made... Yeah. And I did now DM them, so hopefully that they like that. Hi, Desi. Hello, Venus. Good to see you. Ivory. Hi. I did not moan. Did I moan earlier? Anyways. You okay? Hi, sorry. My sister punched me by accident and fell down. I broke a few ribs. You broke a few ribs? Are you okay? Except for the broken ribs. Thank you for the bits, Anya. Hi, Redhead. Thank you, Venus. Hi, Kinky Mint. Chat, go check out Kinky Mint. Kinky Mint is a fantastic streamer. I'm sorry it took me so long to make it all the way through all the text. Go check them out. Love their vibe. Love their character. I love them. They're great. They're lovely. And they can also speak German. Well, they can't speak German, but they can understand some of it, and they know stuff. Anyways, mwah. But still, they're an amazing streamer. I've streamed with them a few times. We did some collabs back during my hiatus, and they are very, 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 very cool. Stinky Anya. Anya Stinky. Thank you for the shout out. Hello, Sav Salad. Thank you for the fail. Echo Rose. Do this when I can. Such a good girl. Such a good girl. Hi, Lynn. Chat. I hear sirens outside in the distance. That might be outside of me. I have sirens here all the time. Doing hi, Lynn. Oh, wait, did I say Lynn? And Karamia. Hello, Karamia. Hello, Ali. And I think we are finally caught up with everybody. Thank you for the bits, Anya. Okay, we're caught up. I said hello to everybody. Chat. If I didn't say hello to you, just in case, hello, Aura. Hello, Vanya. And hello, Pinky. I know one of you is here. And you are all amazing. I did the good girl redeem. I just did the good girl redeem. You're such a good girl. Such a good girl, Echo Rose. Yeah, exactly, Aura. See, I knew you were here. I just didn't see you comment because I scrolled through everything. John, you are. You are all amazing. Look, there's a lot of chatters. I scroll, and every once in a while, what's the name? And Ali already said hi. Don't you say anything. I said hi to you. Don't make me go into dark mode. Entering dark mode. We've entered low-powered mode. Okay. Well, chat, now that I've said hello to everybody, and we've done our stuff, and we've done our little just chatting, and oh, the fridge. Do y'all want to know about the fridge? Has everybody heard the fridge, by the way? Has everybody heard the noise the fridge makes? Okay. Do you want to here? Give me a second. First off, we're gonna go to Twitter to play the noise the fridge made. So by the way, so this is what happened this morning while I was streaming, doing ASMR. Which holy shit, it is so awful to suddenly have like a noise coming through when you're trying to do ASMR. And I'm gonna play the fridge video. You don't really need to see; you just need to hear it. You ready? Oh, let's mute the music. I don't know if you can hear that, but here we go. Did you hear that? Did you hear that noise? The lovely, lovely, lovely noise that thing made. We'll do it one more time. Oh, nope, you can't hear it. Give me a second. So yeah, that for like a whole several hours it was making that noise while I was doing ASMR. Now I did think smart at the time. I did think smart, and I did unplug the. Was it louder than a person? I'm trying to compare it to like a normal sound. You know the sound of like hearing a car drive by? It is like kind of like like when you hear an engine, like a car drive by like on the street. Like kind of like the rumbling sound of like of like a louder car. Hi Yuki, lovely to see you, sweet Yuki. And it was just like non-stop like that for so long, and I don't know if chat heard it, but I immediately muted because I was like, this is such a weird noise. Like, where is this coming from? Is this outside? Is this a car failing? And when I took my headphones off, I realized it's not coming from my left, which is where the thing would be. It's like coming from my kitchen. And so I go in there and I realize it's my fridge, and I'm just standing here going like, why the hell is it making that noise? That's when I came back and went to be right back, and I started like hitting it to see if I could get it to stop, and it wouldn't. So at that point, I did unplug the fridge, being like, I don't care if all the meat in my fridge defrosts and the freezer defrosts and everything goes bad. I have so many people here right now listening to me do ASMR, watching me play Minecraft like an idiot, having a great time. We're going to let things defrost. It's going to be fine, whatever. Like a fridge, if you leave it closed, it's going to stay chill for a couple hours. You're fine. And then I reconnected it afterwards, And immediately the noise picked back up, and I'm like, well, I can't leave it unplugged, and it won't stop. And I hit it once, and it stopped for 3 seconds, or about 5 seconds when I hit it hard enough. And then I moved it back into place, and the noise picked up again. So, you know, I did there, and I'm getting ready to do D&D, being like, God, this is going to suck. I'm going to have this noise in the background the entire time. It's going to melt my brain. My headache is getting worse by the second. And then I start telling chat, being like, hey, this thing is happening. Like, this is awful. And like how horrible it is and how bad my headache is. And then I go grab a random pill, and chat gets mad at me for swallowing random pills I find in my cabinet. It tasted like a painkiller, chat. If it tasted like poison, I wouldn't have swallowed it. Worst case scenario, it's a muscle relaxant. And then, you know, it's weird. But like, I'm not going to have like poison pills in my cabinet. It's fine as long as I only take one of them. I'm a big guy. I can handle a little poison. Yeah. And then, like, right before D&D starts, as I'm walking into the hallway, I notice it's quiet. It's so quiet. All right, good. Oh my God, you hurt your ribs and you're at home now? Why did you come into stream? Go to the fucking hall. What are you doing? What are you doing here? Are you go. Leave. Don't chat. No, we're gonna keep talking about the fridge in just a second. I never thought this would go. Leave. I love you. Bye. If ever you are hurt or injured in the world, do not come to me. I can't help. There's nothing I can do. I can maybe call the police for you, but like I cannot take care. Hi, Vanya. I can't take care of you beyond that. Please. Okay. Sorry. We're back. We're back to the story. Yes. So yeah, I step out into the hall, and I realize it's completely silent, and the fridge has just stopped making noise. And I was Google, like, what the funniest part is I was sitting in the bathroom doing my bathroom business, going on my phone, being like, how to stop a fridge squeaking. And like, I finally find something. It's like, oh, go check the condenser, see if there is, thank you, Anya. I really appreciate it. Check to see if like maybe there's like grit in the fan. I can thank you for the raid. Thank you. We're almost done with the story, and then I'm going to give you all the love and attention that you need. No, I guess we need... You son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. You just won. You just won. Congratulations. Get your free gifted sub. Coming on down. There it is. Thank you for the raid. I hope all of you had a lot of fun. You are all so very, very amazing. My name's LuckyJene. I'm a gambler, a writer, a flirt. I'm goofy. I'm a boy failure. And we're currently talking about the disaster of my fridge. But Kitten, what were you doing? What were you streaming? How did it go? Okay, yeah. So while it was squeaking, I was looking up ways to fix it. And it's like, go check the condenser, go look in the fan, see if there's some grit, see if anything's frozen. And if not, maybe something else needs to be fixed. And I'm like, okay, cool. I can totally do that. That's so easy. Like, this is a plan. Like, I could probably knock this out before D&D. And that's when I step out in the hallway and I'm like, the fridge is silent. Which, you know what that means, right? You know what that means, right? Like, why is the fridge silent all of a sudden after Gene looked up how to fix it? Huh? Can you tell me why? Do you know why, chat? Because the fridge was terrified. The fridge is terrified that I was going to have to open up its insides and get all in it. It knew that I would ruin it beyond all repair. I scared the fridge. Exactly. I terrified the fridge with the idea. It's like, oh no, he's going to be inside of me. So yeah. And it stopped squeaking. By the way, for those of you who did not hear the noise of the fridge, we're going to play that again. If it's too irritating for you, please mute for the next 10 seconds. Are you ready? This is what the fridge sounded like. Which is like either a theremin or a very angry ghost. Maybe a pissed off mosquito that's very, very large. Weird electronic beat. Don't know. But yeah. That was a thing that happened. Go to the hospital. What do you mean you're bored? Yeah, definitely a ghost. Halloween ghost. Exactly. Vanya does. But yes. So yeah, fridge is okay for now, which is amazing because my place might be a bit of a mess. It might be the worst state my place has ever been in, and I don't want to invite maintenance into my place with the idea of like, this place is so messy. Gene, you shouldn't live here anymore. You know, so until I get this place cleaned, I don't want anything else to break. I was thinking about canceling streams so I could fix things, but you know. I mean, it's mostly like cardboard boxes, chat. Like, I ordered a lot of stuff when I first moved in here. I ordered my bed. I ordered the one bookshelf that I have that I haven't built. Don't judge me. I ordered my couch. That was like $100, so a really cheap, shitty couch. I've ordered like pots, pans, forks, knives, plates, so much stuff. And my living room, like half my living room is nice. There's the couch, there's the rug, there is a tray that I found recently, like a folding tray, and an upside down shelves. Don't ask me why they're upside down, because I will tell you. I'm just lazy and didn't want to pull them in. No. You wouldn't have had to. Their maintenance would have come in and fixed it. You do not need to pay for it. I also have renter's insurance. I'm fine. But the other half of the living room is full of stacks of cardboard boxes. So, yeah. But anyways, hi Kitten, what were you streaming? I'm so sorry that you had to wait for my finishing my story. I knew I would never remember it if I didn't finish it. What were you streaming? Was it good? Was it great? Was it amazing? And also lovely chatters. If you haven't gone and check out Wild Kitten Ray yet, they are a great streamer. They have a lot of cool arts and stuff, and like I like the lore and their model and everything. Echo Rose, I stream every single day. You're fine. I will time you out if you don't go to the hospital. Good luck though. And yeah, they're great. Go check them out. Lovely, amazing, cool person. Have we ever gotten art together? We might have gotten art together. I've gotten art with a few people. But yes, cool person. And oh, you can also hear my voice on their stream. If you redeem the water redeem, you hear me very sensually tell them to drink water, and it flusters them. And it's great. So if you want to go torment them, go redeem water so that they have to go drink it, and you can hear my voice. I wonder how many other streams I'm on. There are quite a few random streams where I'll be like a voice for a subscription or something. Like Nico Nifalina. They asked me to do a few. Thank you for the kiss for chat. Mwah. Okay. Are we ready for the game? Because if you aren't, I am. And I've soju. Oh, I forgot to try to get... Chat, guess what flavor I'm drinking? Look what I said. I refuse. I cannot scroll back. You're going to have to retype it. Yes. Okay. I'm going to see if I can launch this properly, and then we'll change. Launching game. It is not strawberry. It's not grape. Chat, I will say this. It is one of the greatest, least appreciated fruits. It is hard on the outside, has a seed in the middle, and it's very, very juicy. It's not a mango, it's not a peach. Hard on the outside. Thank you for the lurk. It's not durian, not pomegranate. It is a flavor of... Plums are not hard on the outside. What kind of plums are you eating that are hard on the outside? You make me worried. Oh, sorry, a pomegranate. Grat 8. Not an orange. Not an orange. Gibbets wins! Congratulations, Gibbets. Gibbets, do you know what you get? Do you know what you get? Because I just noticed you don't have one. You get a free sub. Congratulations on your free sub. Gibbets got it correctly. That is a lychee. Leeches are very juicy, very underappreciated, and hard on the outside, soft on the inside, with a dark black seed in the center. he almost won again, which would have been a nightmare, because I would have had to give it another sub, and, you know, then I'll have no money. Chat, did I ever tell you about the time that too many people were winning? And so I was I was starting to run out of, I was starting to be like, guys, I can't give more subs because there's too much, there's too much cost. It costs too much. I don't which, you know, like I said I'd do it. But hello, Carlist. My D&D friends are watching the stream with me. Hello, D&D friends. I did D&D today. It was very, very fun. Okay. I'm getting a lot better at being a DM. It was very, like, descriptive, and there was a lot of modes. I mean, we spent, like, half an hour to an hour doing breakfast in game, which I think was just so much fun. I hope they thought it was fun. I hope my players thought it was fun. But, like, there was a whole thing of, like, oh, one player remembered that they have a goblin tied up to the side of a donkey that they'd forgotten about, who they're now infantilizing, by the way. Like, they treat him like a baby, though it's a full-grown goblin man. I think it's funny. Praise. Oh, yeah. One sec. Yes, and so there was like a whole hour of like one of them going to go check on the goblin, realizing that his limbs were starting to atrophy because he doesn't move a lot. There was another one who they went through like choosing out their meals, what they were going to eat, eating it, having little quiet discussions at the table about like, this inn seems too nice and a little bit weird. Also, there's this guy who's been sitting at the same table we're at that has just stopped eating, and little things. The depth of the roleplay this time made me like really excited with my players, where I'm just like, yay, they like the characters and they like the situation and they're talking about the plot, and like having that feedback without people saying it is just so nice. Amazing. And Anya, thank you so much for the praise redeem. You are so very, very, very wonderful. You are so lovely, kind, sweet, and you are just the greatest presence here in chat. I'm always so happy to have you here and getting to see your name, not only because Anya is fun to say, but also because you are just so very, very good. I love the energy you bring wherever you go, and I'm very happy that you've stayed a very committed member of this community. You're doing amazing, so very wonderful, and you will keep doing wonderful as you go forward. Mwah. And yes, gee, I did that, mwah. And we'll do another. Mwah. All the kisses for chat. It's time to play The Forest 2 with crowd control. Oh, it's called Son of the Forest, isn't it? Son of the Forest. Done! And yes. I played a ranger today for the first time, and me and the Goliath became parents of the group. Oh, that's sweet. I like that. I like that a lot. My D&D group friends are watching. Okay, cool. Well, hopefully your D&D friends like me. And I promise to nerd out about D&D more. Chat, we can see the game. We can hear it. Is everything good? Are we ready? Now that I can actually launch the game. I have nothing else planned for today. This time, so stream's not going to randomly end. Let's fucking go. Oh, shoot. We were away like 5 minutes and our rogue and druid immediately started comment with 4 cockatrices or whatever. I think you got it. No, there's definitely a C near the end. Boom. And okay. Also, chat. There are crowd controls. You're able to lower the difficulty, raise the difficulty, do all sorts of little things. Summon creatures. There is like, it should be an over... No, don't die. Oh, come on. Work for me. Come on, 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 come on. You can do it. I believe in you. You got this. 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 Come on, 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 come on. Not again. Come on, 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 come on. Wait, it's loading past it. It's going past it where it was before. We got this, chat. We got this. Okay, believe. We can do this. We're just not going to touch anything. Oh, it's loading. Did it load? Yes! Success! We have achieved! Hooray! Hooray. Don't forget to activate crowd control. Oh, you're right. Session starting. Session has begun, chat. I'm sorry, are you playing my nature want game without me? Do you play the forest? For sure. Volume for game good, or do we need it louder? I didn't know you play the forest. Oh. We're looking for Edward Puffton. Louder? Let me turn it up a little bit. Oh, D. Oh, Barbara Puffton. That's fair. Virginia Puffton. E. Is that good? Fight. Demons. This feels really calm for a plane crash. Fuck demons. Oh, sorry. I read something there. Wait. Somebody mentioned me being hyper. I can't remember if this is the first nice stream review that you're so hype. Yeah. I have a bit higher energy for the. Are we back in the air? Wait, no, we're on a mountain. Oh shit! Okay, well, I mean, damn! You did what? Bet. Drop it. Let me see the clip. Why are you messing with me? Why are you so mean? Oh! That would have been a quick end to this game. Just imagine. You start off and he's just, I'ma shoot you. Oh wait, is my mic louder? Chat, I need to check something real quick. Okay, we're gonna talk like this. We're gonna whisper a little bit, and then we're gonna whisper a little bit more. Then we're gonna whisper a little bit more, and then I'm gonna whisper, and nothing is changing. Perfect. Okay. Great. Okay. Amazing. I'm trying to figure something out. Yeah, I think we're. The fuck is wrong with this guy? You good guy? I don't know. I don't know if I really want to deal with this, chat. Hi, Skitter. How you doing? He's just a bit like, it's not like a lot to deal with. Oh, let's see what's in this box. Oh, grenade. I feel a little bit more confident in handling this now. All right, just in case. Just in case. Worst case scenario, I kill us both. What's up, homie? Okay. Kelvin. What's up, Kelvin? How you doing? You're, doing okay? Oh, there it is. There it is. Oh. Oh, follow me. What the fuck? what? No, not again. Stop spawning trees. Okay, so this is one of the crowd. Oh! Oh god! Oh god! Oh god! Oh god! Kelvin! Kelvin, get away from him! Kelvin! Kelvin, all I have is an aid! Kelvin! Run, Kelvin! Run, Kelvin! Run! Where, Kelvin? Are you okay? So don't, hey. No. Oh, thank God. Did he kill Calvin? Ah. Okay. Well, this escalated very quickly. By the way, so when it said, hey, you can do a bunch of different events that occur when different things happen, one of the things was have a specific kind of mutant appear when you get a follow. Apparently. Fuck. Ooh, there goes my stealth plan. Oh, apparently that is. But by the way, thank you for the follow. Really appreciate it. Also, hello, Milky Dawn. How you doing? And hello, Skitter. Thank you for spawning a cannibal family. Oh God! What the fuck? I can't. Okay. Oh. Okay. Oh, tree. Hello, tree. I've decided to kind of leave most of the settings alone when I first, thank you, I'll check it out, decided to mess with everything. So, anything that happens today, I have no clue about. Oh, God, the gun. Can I? There we go. So, yeah. If anything crazy happens, like, what if this is? What the? What? Oh. Huh. I'm so confused, chat. Oh God, my controls are inverted now. Oh, this is gonna be. Yeah. Why is there a shark? Why am I on a moped? Oh. Okay. Well, now I'm in a cave. And I'm dead. Possibly. Maybe. Yes. Yeah. I'm back. I'm back, chat. I have survived. I have survived. Oh, you whale. Oh, look at the pretty whale. And now it's nighttime. All right, chat. All right, I got this. We're gonna make it to whatever this is. I'm gonna make it to the symbol, and it's fine. I don't know what we're doing. Apparently I'm hungry. There are twin mutants behind me. I am going to ignore them because I fell. I will probably be increasing the prices next time we play this game, but I wanted to fucking see what would happen with everything. So yeah, everything should be possible. By the way, for enough points, you can also spawn the endgame boss. Oh, there's my... Well, I'm just going to start eating things. I'm sure it's fine. And there's the katana. Yes. Amazing. What is happening? Oh. Chat, we survived today. We have survived today. Fuck. Fuck. No. Damn it. Wait, is he dead? Is that me or is that the other guy? Oh. I was surviving? I survived? How was I surviving? What? Wait, okay, no. That is actually really fucking cool. Because instead of just straight up dying, they have different things that happen. Oh, that is cool. Oh no, you're fine, Kinky. You're totally fine. Now I know, actually, I don't know what killed me. I don't know what killed me. But this is sick. Okay, we are fast. Oh, wait. Are we starting over, or is this different? Am I somebody else? Okay, no, I'm still the same guy. Okay, I'm still the same guy. We're fine. We're gonna skip all this. Crashing. Alright, this time. Ow.
Now who invited you?
Don't care. Okay. Plans. So that chat doesn't instantly kill me. I'm going to grab everything as quickly as I can. Okay? I'm going to put whatever this is away. Open emergencies only. Oh! Hey look, survival gear. It would have been nice to... Alright. I don't know what this is. Fuck your trees. Opening. Alright. Kelvin, you're fine. I believe in you. You're doing great. I'm so proud of you, Kelvin. Ooh, spear. Stick. Alright, Kelvin. You got this. You got this, buddy. Have I found a grenade? No. Yes. This time. Ow. Why am I vibrating? Why am I vibrating? What is this? Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, God. Stop vibrating. Ah. Echo, you have had injuries. I thought you were going to the hospital. Vanya, could you do me a favor? Time them out for an hour and refund them. Oh, is that what's happening here? Here, we're gonna do a... Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay. if they have injuries, if they're hurting, Adam's to combine them, then they need to be taking care of themselves. Yeah, you can refund later. It's fine. Wait, what? Where's the... Huh? Oh, they're still here. They're just very bad at killing me. Okay, cool. Where's Kelvin? Kelvin. Kelvin. Oh, there he is. Oh, God. Hi, Kelvin. They're gonna try to kill us in a little bit, so, you and I are going to try to survive, okay, sweetie? No, hey. Look at me. Look at me. Cool. You're... Alright. Apparently it also took your brain. Don't know why. But it's fun. Yeah. Can I help you in any way? If I, take a break. Yeah, you stay safe. I'll come find you when I can protect you, okay? Be a good boy. Love you. Anyways. Woo! Rolling around at the speed of sound. Got places to go. Oh, God. Oh, I died? Oh, no, we're fine. I'm alive, chat. I'm alive. It's fine. Place it and gonna follow my... Why do the circles only cover decreased difficulty? All right, we're gonna see if I can make this work. All right, the difficulty's easier, chat. I got this. Calvin gonna be the hero of the story. I hope so. Oh God, the F of... Oh. Can we, maybe... Yeah. Oh God, it's inverted. Okay. Oh, Jesus. You know what? That's fine. Oh. Okay. Note to self. Get rid of FOV. Okay. Pick it up. Pick it up. Pick it up. Don't die. Thank you. Thank you for the... Thank you. My crossbow! Okay, it's fine, chat. It's fine. We survived. Thank you for the follow. Foreign. Please pronounce your name for me. I like your name. It look Fornix. That makes sense. I appreciate it. For you to... Oh God. Okay. I'm... Ooh. FOV is awful. Animals. Great. Alright, let me look in the loot box while this hopefully runs away. Okay, we're gonna open this. Finally. Yay. Oh, do you know each other? We got an at... No, I don't want this! Fuck! Light it on fire. Light it. L to light. Okay. No, light it. There we go. Okay, I see one. I see him. Come here. Did I get him? Aha! Oh God, there's another one! Stop moving. Stop it. Get in the fire. Okay. There we go. There. No. Stay. Be a good boy. And let me burn you alive, please. No. Haha. Shh. We have no more chat. I don't know what this is. Come on. Stop being weird. Let me just kill you. It's fine. Oh! Hell yes! That'll do. Oh, there we go. Oh, that is, oh, I love you, chat. Whoever gave me the gun, you are the best. You are the absolute best. I will never forgive you. Your baby tried to kill me. Your baby tried to kill me. All right, I think how many energy drinks do I have? Thank you for the MRE. It's in his nature. That doesn't make it okay, Chad. I'm still not gonna, forgive a person for trying to kill me just because it's in his nature. It's not the way this works. All right, we're gonna lower the X sensitivity a little bit. We're gonna boop. Boom. That should do. All right, there we go. Oh, Nia! Hello, Nia. I'm glad whoever shouted out Nia. Lovely. Oh, God. Oh, there we go again. Oh, ooh, okay. Ooh, it's fine. It's, ooh. Ooh, don't fall. We're good. Don't empty my hunger meter. Why? I just ate food. Why would you immediately empty my hunger and my stamina? Tell you bad dad jokes? Please do. I'd love to hear a bad dad joke. Oh, yeah, no, I was panicking a little bit. It's been kind of hard to keep track of chat. But yes, a script read would be cool. Okay. Learn the basics of construction. Oh, right, there's a game here. Did I drop the gun? Tent. Okay. Oh, no, we still have the gun. So, man walks into a bar. He's no longer allowed in the limbo term. Don't drop a tree on me. Beard. Oh, I'll take the logs. I'm sure I could use the logs. All right, we must learn to build. What I need is lumber. I always need lumber. Equip your GPS. Oh, hey, look, we have plot. Oh my god, that was so elliptic triggering. I can't watch, so I jump to audio only. Oh, the FOV? Okay, yeah. No, I'm going to turn off the FOV chat. Give me a second while I adjust that. I don't want to cause any sort of things here. Good point. 1 second. We're going to do effect list. We're going to end session real quick, chat. Do. Amazing, love it. Configure pricing customized. Okay. Do fast scroll, give compound bow, appreciate that, give food, give glider, give grenades. Oh, we're gonna search effects. No. You are 100% right. You're not the only person who has those triggers, and I would hate for somebody to come in here and have that effect happen and them have any sort of reaction. So yeah, I do not want to be somebody's cause to remove reward. To have a triggering situation. Everything else though is fine. Okay, that should be good. Well, I don't know words, chat. How do priests make holy water? They boil the hell out of it. I have heard that one, but that is a good one. Okay. Words aren't my strongest. Nothing is my strongest side. Let's be honest. I've got one strong side. It's my voice, and that's about it. Okay. Shoot, we were doing things. Okay, how do I drop this? Drop. No, that's the lighter. Let's put that away. Go away, lighter. Uh-huh. Oh, God. Oh, that scared the hell out of me. Whew. All right. What do we got? Huh. Crunchy Wunchies. We have printer resin. I don't have what I need. Apparently I need like a tarp or something, so I'm just gonna eat some food. Gene with a golden voice. Thank you, Skidda. I try. I definitely do try. And we need to drink something, so hopefully these energy drinks hydrate. By the way, did you know that energy... Oh my... Whoa! Hey, Shamu. Where is he going? Oh no, I need to follow this. Oh god! Hey! Hey! Exclamation point Discord. Boop. Boop. We're out of bullets. Oh god. Oh no. Oh, we have ammo. We have ammo. But exclamation point Discord. We'll show you the Discord. It is ID verified required due to the fact that I am 18 plus. Oh god. Okay. Who spawned that family? Which one of you was it? Ellie VT. I see you there. I see you there. Trying to spawn cannibals on me. How dare you? Yes. What? Gene, 18 plus? I know, right? Chat, can you believe it? Oh! Gibbet spawned a bunch of animals. Well, alright then. How to make a shovel. If I was a shovel, how would I be made? Okay. Chat, we're gonna figure this out. X. Okay, I quit. LEVT? I don't know, but they redeemed it. I can see who redeemed things. So that is what, yeah. Stop giving me trees! I need sticks! Why do I have a grenade? Why do I have a grenade? You know? Oh, I got sticks! Thank you for the sticks. Okay. Okay, we're gonna... It's fine. It's fine. I got this. I got this. Okay. Stick. Where are the sticks? Where are the sticks? Where are the sticks? Where are the Where'd my sticks go? Oh, they're down here. Oh my goodness. Okay, wait a second. Wait a second. What is all this? Okay. We have a stick. No, don't. Ah! I don't know how to equip gun. Come back here. Oh, okay. That didn't work. Did not work. Grenade. Grab grenade. Got a grenade. Aha. So good at this game. How are you still alive? Stop living. No. Ah! This doesn't feel right, chat. This one doesn't feel right. No, we are safe now. We are probably safe now. I have remembered my fear of open water where I can't see my feet, and yeah. I'm sure this is fine. You know, like, Oh, hey, I can get the rocks. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? Oh, almost. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come. Aha. Oh. Oh. Oh, no, 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 no. So to run okay, to run you through what just happened there, chat. I blew up a moose with a grenade. Out from the corpse of the moose spawned a demon that immediately charged at me in revenge and murdered me instantly. God came down and said, no. We got this, chat. The goal, last 2 days. If we can survive 2 days, then we'll be doing amazing. I see you spending bits. I see you spending bits over there. You're enjoying this too much. How? Oh no, we're dying. Oh no. Ooh, the worst. Oh, we're in the snow. Why does this feel worse? I'm sure this is fine, chat. I'm sure this is gonna be fine. You gotta just keep reloading. You'll be fine. Oh, Jesus, not this again. Calypso, thank you for the whatever. Grenades. Yes. Okay. Backpack. Okay. Grenades. Yes. Okay. I got this, chat. I got this. We're gonna equip this. This is fine. 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 Oh God. This is not fine. Oh. Ah! What was that? Why? Okay. Let's stick down. Open the box. There's nothing, chat. There's nothing worthwhile in here. There's nothing. Oh, where am I going? Kelvin, no! Kelvin, baby, stay safe. Don't fight the demon. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay, chat. He's fine. He's fine. I'm sure he's fine, chat. I'm sure he's fine. We're just gonna... Oof, okay. I'm gonna open this. It's okay. It's okay. Kelvin, it's fine. It's okay. Okay. Hello, Moreau. Let's go to the beach. Let's go to the beach. Let's go get away. Axes can be used for cutting down trees and dismembering enemies. Yay. I'll miss Kelvin, chat. I have yet to see the baby boy for more than a few seconds. Okay, we're gonna look at the GPS. I don't know if Kelvin is on here. Kelvin is fine, chat. Kelvin looks like he's still alive. I see him listed on here. It's... Huh. Thank you for the bits. Okay. Do I just take it? Can I keep it? Yeah. Sweet. Amazing. I'm so happy, chat. We got this. Ooh, boxes! Hey! No, how do Hi. Ah, fuck! Where'd the box go? Where's the box? The box is a turtle. Okay. That's fine. The box can be a turtle. I look, a Bible. Yay, bones. Yay, bones. I do kind of want to know what the box is a turtle. Fanya, when'd you get in this game? Oh. Yes, the box is just gone. The box is... It's gone? It's gone. It's gone. I am so paranoid right now, y'all. You don't even know. You do, because y'all have been... Nice. Y'all have been, hitting me up with so many things so quickly that not having anything happen for a few seconds is making me very, very paranoid, because I'm not used to the quiet. I'm not used to the, oh. You can just hit me. Oh. Oh! Never mind. Sorry. I'm sorry I said anything. I'm sorry I said... It's fine. It's fine. You know, being quiet is fine. The silence was good, too. It's no problem. I have no issue with either of them, okay? Okay? Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Oh, I can throw this. Thank you for the hydrate. Let me do a... Oh. I'm hydrating my sword. Ah, Daimouche, come back. Oh. Okay, how do I swap weapons, by the way, chat? Is it just, like, I have to open the thing and do the... It's not that difficult to do. Oh! God, his neck! His neck! Oh, he's still alive! Ah! Yeah. And the orca went off slowly into the wilderness, joining his wilderness brethren, entrusting himself... Oh, God. He's fine. Ah! Bullets! 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 Okay. 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 God, he's so much. No, stop galloping. Stop. Fuck. Okay. Okay. Oh, hey, that works. Yeah, buddy. Okay, buddy. Ah! Ah! Let me out of here. We're just gonna... It's fine. 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 I'm okay. I'm relaxed. Oh, hey, look, we found the whale. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I have a gun. Wait, am I dead? I died, chat. We're back! Okay. 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 We've done. You didn't think it would let you do what? What'd you do, Aura? Okay. Oh! Did I die? What killed me? Okay. Oh, okay, okay. I'll turn off the ability to just instantly kill me. Give me a second, chat. That way you need to put some effort into it. Oh, I love this. I actually love this. We're slowly... Check out the wish list. A gym boy, I see. I'm wanting to be a gym boy. I am wanting to get nice and fit. So hopefully, somebody will sponsor my gym request equipment, and then I can get nice and fit. And then once we do the face reveal, I will post cosplay fits and shiz. Pricing customization. Okay. Hit players fine. You can hit me all you want. Full health is fine. Which one was the one that was? You said it was like a KO thing. OKO. The next hit will knock out the players. Okay, we're gonna remove OKO. There we go. Perfect. The muscle dad bod. Nice. I just started working out, chat. I'm trying to get nice in shape because I have to do a face reveal once we hit partner, and you know, it's gonna happen eventually. Not saying I'm not cute, don't get me wrong, I'm decently attractive. But did you see the monster that almost killed me? I did see the spider thingy that crawled up on you. I hope you're alive still. Did you die? Nia, did you die, Nia? Are you alive? Oh, I can't believe you died. That's so sorry. I'm so sorry that happened. Chat, can we get an F in chat for Nia's dead body? But you lived. Oh, never mind. You don't need to. Never mind. We don't have to F in chat. They're still alive. It's fine. Actually, no. Give them an F anyways. Fuck it. Chat, we need to be a COD lobby. So the second that I die, I want F's in chat. Okay, can you do that one for me, my lovelies? All right, this time, where the fuck I got a fucking rock? This time we make it. This time, nothing is gonna kill me, chat. I'm gonna make it for 3 days. 3 days. No, sorry. Not a COD lobby. I take it back, chat. I take it back. No slurs. No, never mind. No. No. Bad. We're not. Oh, okay, it's fine. Oh, right. Sorry, chat. I'm like, why has nobody tried to kill me yet? Okay, session started. It should be up. God, you guys have been really nice to me, not killing me so far. Like I can't believe y'all have been so like kind and sweet and haven't done a single negative thing to me yet. That's crazy. Like what is it? Oh, that. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That was the. Thank you for the bits. I just saw the difficulty increased, and we have a gun. And we have an army mutant. Well. Okay. We're out of ammo. Hello, Silver. Lovely to see you. Good to see you. Things are happening right now. We're just gonna, I'm just gonna grab one of these and... No, don't knock me down! Yeah. There's a moose! Oh, there he is! Moose, fight him for me! Moose, come back! Moose, please! No! I must save... Why do you keep knocking me down? Save me, Moose! Save me, Moose! The moose did it. Thank you, Moose. I will never hurt another moose in my life. We're fine. In my life. We will never harm another moose, chat. All mooses will be respected and preserved. Ow. I noticed you set the difficulty to the highest thing you possibly could. That was wild. I can't believe you do that. You're so kind and sweet and gentle and caring. Oh, you did a 24-hour stream? Well, congrats on doing the 24-hour stream. How'd it go? Gene, press the gear. What gear? Teleported you to the shark raft. Oh no, this conversation's gonna end. I'm gonna tell him to follow me, and then I'm going to appear on the shark raft, aren't I? Okay. I'm glad you're doing better now. Good. Follow me. Alright, let's see what happens. You ready, chat? Bye, bunny. I got knocked over. Okay. Okay, we're fine. Bet. Okay, open that. Combined. Nice. You're amazing and deserve the world. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I really, really do. Oh, Jesus. Do you want to just knock me down? Oh, God, the tree. Hello, Bloody Cigar. How you doing? How you doing? All right, we're gonna... Can I combine things? Okay. So I can combine things. I just need to do... You do tape... sticks... And, knife. Combine. And we have a crafted spear. Nice! Damn it. Why do you keep knocking me over? Kill your brother. I mean, don't do that, but, yeah. Welcome back. And thank you. Did you take my spear? Did you take my... You took my spear! You fucker! I just made that! I just learned how to craft a spear! You took my... Stop knocking me over! Oh, you gave me back my spear. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Hee hee. Ah! Why is it so cheap? Notice. Wait a second. Where is my gun? Where's my gun? Where's my gun? There's my gun. Hello, gun. Okay, GPS. Find the Puffton family. Okay? God, fuck. Oh, no. No. Gun. What's in this box? Nothing. Gun. Okay. Okay, aim. Got him. Okay. Oh, a 9-year-old. Okay, sorry. I apologize. Stop hitting me! I apologize for saying that you should murder your brother. I might have overreacted a bit, chat. It's fine. Though. Okay. I don't know how to actually equip anything yet, chat. I hope you'll understand that. Wait, can I combine this with what? Nothing? Okay. But how do I put away the GPS? No, I don't want to. Okay. Ah, stop hitting me. Put away the, yeah. There we go. I just saw someone exchange for, oh no. What the fuck is... Ah! Not again! No! We just had one of you... Oh, Jesus. Fuck. It's fine, chat. It's fine. I'm gonna do this. Do this immediately. We're gonna rip this off. Boom. Easy. Easy claps. Easy claps. Easy claps. Gonna grab the backpack. We're gonna grab the backpack immediately. I'm gonna equip the gun. As long as nobody teleports me again. As long as nobody removes me from this position. No! Stop knocking me over! Back. Give me. Haha. What the? What is he? What the? I'm just gonna. Yeah. Oh, hi. What are you? Reload. What is that? Oh, no, don't take my pistol! No! Okay, it's fine. It's fine. I don't need a pistol. I just need my backpack. What do I have? A spear? It's still alive. Oh, another spear! Any more? Oh, Calypsy! Oh, God! Calypsy, you're such a good girl. Thank you so much for the redeem. Oh, God, don't kill Kelvin. Oh, God, what is that? What is... Oh. Ah! I'm gonna take that away from you, Vanya. Ow. Ah! Okay, now I've known what to change. I'm increasing the price, Vanya. I'm increasing the price. A treasure train? What the hell is a treasure train? Hi, everybody. We have a treasure train. I've never seen this before. I'm increasing the price. Knock player down. Here's what we're going to do, chat. I'm going to put a pricing thing on it, okay? Every time it's redeemed, it is going to go up in price. It'll start at 15, and every time you buy it, it's going to double in price. Oh shit, my phone. 1 second. So, the more you knock me over, what is a treasure train? Unlock a limited time 35% off gift subs at level 2 during the train. Oh my god, actually, won't buy, if we get to level 2 of this train, I will buy like 10 subs right now for everybody. But we have to make it to level 2. Hey, for the gift sub! Appreciate it. Oh. Okay. So every time you do a knockdown, it's going to increase in price. It will double in price. And then once you... Oh my god, Vanya, thank you. I guess I did say I'm gonna do treasure train unlocked. What do we unlock? Oh, 5 plus gifted subs. Bet. We will gift out 5 subs right now. Wait, 50 bits or 1 sub remain to complete level 2. That is so cool. My health? Yeah. Thank you, Vanya, so very, very much. And I'm going to be gifting subs as well. Let's do another 5 that I will gift to all of you lovely people. Stream summary. How do I get to my stream chat? We're going to go to Doop. What am I looking for? Aha. Bet. Okay. Channel. Are you ready? We're gifting 5 subs right now. Yay! Sweet. We have so many people. Magic Ninja Go 10 years old, 10 years of Spinjitzu. Magic Ninja Go 10 years of Spinjitzu just got a sub. Congratulations, Magic Ninja Go 10 years of Spinjitzu. You have the best name. Congratulations. Shitbag Weatherman is a great name. Zinka VT. I know Zinka. Mr. Cake God. Look at all these people. Swamps. Swamp Sass is amazing. Is an amazing name. God, yeah. The best. Thank you for the gifted. Swamp's ass or swamp sass? Okay, chat. You ready? Here we go. It should be active now. Let's see if I can even get the backpack. Okay, we have the backpack. At least we start with the backpack. Give me the bag. Don't. Why are you immediately christening? Why? Why do you hate me, Neeks? Why do you hate me? What the f? Well, that was fast. Not only did you summon the final boss, you did that at the highest level of difficulty. So, yeah. Oh, God, my backpack. Let me get my... No. Yeah. Give me my bag. Don't crush me under the... It's fine. And we are safe. I hope Kelvin is still alive. I don't have much hope for him, but I hope he's alive. Oh, I'm proud of you, Moxie. Good job. Okay. Sent hide you. Mother. Why? Why is that even an option? Oh, God, not him again. I don't have a gun. I have no weapons this time. I should just, like... La, da, 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 da. Stop increasing... I think you've maxed out the... Ooh. Gun. Ah! Gun. Aim. Aim. Ah! Okay. I think he's dead. Oh. Okay. Why do I have a bow? Where did the bow come from? I'll take the bow. Thank you. Fucking not... Do you know what this is? Chat, have you ever seen the, There's some, like, TikTok people who all they do is play crowd control. Shit. Okay, well, we're gonna do this. Yeah. All they do is play crowd control Resident Evil 4, and they let you spawn them guns and weapons and stuff, and then you can spawn endless zombies. That's what's happening here. You made new friends. Proud of you. Good job for making friends. Okay. This is what the game is now, chat. It's just called Gene Survive. Okay. Oh, I'm safe. Okay. Thank you for the... Hey. Oh. God, sorry, I freaked out. Oh. Thank you for the fill of my hunger meter. It's just lumps of meat now, chat. It's just lumps of meat now. Oh. Level 4? Jesus, thank you all. Oh, it's fine. It's just an animal. It's just animals, chat. It's just animals. Oh, we did it. We did it, chat. We did it. It's amazing. Chew, chew, chew. Hype just on the way. Yay! This is fun, actually. I'm having a good time, chat. I hope you all are having as fun as us. Stop it. Stop it. Stop. Oh, Nate. Hope you're all having as much fun as I'm having. I kind of like the demon. I mean, like, it would really suck if somebody took away my gun. Because then I'd have to actually, like, try harder to fight these things. Give me a second, I'm just gonna... Thank you for the spear. Vanya, you're the demon? Oh, no wonder I like it. I like the demon. I think the demon's actually really cool. Like, I like the style. It moves quickly. It's pretty strong. If I didn't have a gun, it would be awful. Oh, is wide FOV? So, I believe wide FOV shouldn't work. I thought I disabled it. I don't know why it's showing up. But yeah, the FOV one should not work. I might need to still remove them. Okay. Not the UI again. Okay. Not that. Hi, thank you for the fall. Shit. 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 Gun. 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 Forgot about this. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Ah! Fight each other. Oh, Jesus. Oh, no. Creepy Virginia mutant. Yeah. Okay. 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 It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Ooh. But how you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you enjoy your time. One Piece is the best anime. Good name, good name, good name. I like your name. Come on, baby girl. Stay there. Stop moving. Fast sprint mode. I'm gonna get myself killed with fast sprint mode again. We're not. Oh, I'm not sprinting. There's so many zombies, cannibals. I don't believe you, Neeks. I don't believe you, Neeks. I don't believe you, Neeks. I don't believe you. Why do I not believe you, chat? Why do not... What? Can somebody tell me why I don't believe Neeks and thinking they're going to be good? Like, what reason would I have to possibly believe that? Oh, motherfucking... Okay. Fine. 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 I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Neeks. I'm sorry. You're okay. I'm sure you wanted to be nice. I'm sure you were gonna be nice. God, he's so sprinty. He's so fast. He's so fast. I apologize, Neeks. You're the best. I love you. Mwah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm now broke from evil. Wow. 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 Fair. Hi, cannibals. Have y'all thought about not being cannibals? Like, that is very much an option of a thing that you can do. Y'all really don't have to be cannibals. Oh, I'm not gonna talk shit. Neeks has a way of getting money. Neeks can make money. Neeks can buy points. That is an option for Neeks to do. I'm not risking that. I am not risking that, chat. Oh, a glider. Oh, this looks fun. This is perfect. No, you can't buy points. There's not an overlay that has coins that you can use. You know. There's not an overlay on the stream that has coins that you use that you earn over time that you can I don't know about mobile. Hopefully not. Damn. Don't hit me. Oh. Alright, chat. I don't know where we're going. Can I check? I can't check my inventory. Oh, that's how you pull out the tracker. Okay, what's that? No, no! Oh, okay. I'm fine. It's fine. We're fine. Yeah, so there's should be a little picture, like if you click on the screen, there should be a little picture that lets you click the controller. Ideally. Okay. I do think it's funny that you just gave me money. This is the Forest 2, Sons of the Forest. What are we looking for here? Oh, hey! You found something. GPS located. Nice. Who are you? Gordon. Puffin refuses to acknowledge... Oh, you have to have overlays. PC doesn't work for me? Oh, I don't know. Not even counting what my team has been... Shit. Shit. Oh. Who took... Why'd you... Hey! 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 My... That's not fair. That's not fair. My gun! My gun! I just got that! Hey, my gun! You give me my gun! Oh. Oh. Neeks took the shotgun. I'm just gonna go explore the cave now, I guess. Chat, I can't see anything. We're just gonna... It's fine, it's fine. I got... It's fine, it's fine. I don't... Stop. I don't know. Why can't I... Huh? Okay, we're gonna try this. Hey, what's up, Neeks? Oh. We're exploring a cave, chat. I'm sure this is fine. Ah. Well, that's terrifying noise. Ah. Interesting. Oh. I can't see anything, chat. There's a loud growling coming in here. Help. Help. Oh, look, a shotgun. We're just gonna... That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. I'm not... I don't... Ah. Ah. Okay. Okay. Huh. Well, I'm not gonna deal with that. That's somebody else's problem. Oh! Fucking hell. Where you... No. 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 Bad boy. Okay, I kind of want to try this. Too fast. Okay. Oh, Jesus. Hi, Neeks. How you doing? What's up? Check your GPS. My GPS? What? Oh, God. Okay. Okay. He's so big. Let's check GPS. Okay, checking GPS. What's on the GPS? What is all this? What are all these things? I don't understand what I'm checking. What is this? Okay, I'm gonna go to whatever this is. Is that a fucking raccoon? Is that a... No. What the... Is that a raccoon? Where are they? No, fucking... Well, I don't know. There's a raccoon. He's gone now. The raccoon just kind of like walked up and just stood up and just like... Oh, fucking... Ah! Ah! No! No, Jesus! Don't drop a tree on my dead body! We did it! Yay! Oh boy. Oh boy. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow. How are you, Taigia Yanderel? Yanderel? Welcome, 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 welcome. We're doing crowd control Sons of the Forest, and chat's killing me repeatedly. It's great. Oh. I'm having a good time. I think this is very goofy. I might eventually do it with like you know, only creature summons and not let you summon the boss, but what are you confused about? What are you confused about? I can walk you through it. Do you need an explanation of anything? Skip. 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 All right, here we go, chat. Remember, chat, the goal is exclusively to survive for 2 days. I could do crowd control with other people. I could. Oh, yeah, I have soju. We go with soju? Retro, you ready? Alright, 3, 2, 1, skull. Delicious. No Vanya's. Beard. You burned your thumb? How'd you burn your thumb? Hi, Palmo. How you doing? I do need to check on the real quick chat. Okay, good. We're good. You have a bottle of gin. Don't drink too heavy, Retro. Keep yourself alive. How do mood rings work? You put them on your finger. They heat up based on the temperature of your body. And based on the temperature of your body, it assigns you a mood. Oh, I got a club. That's kind of cool. Yeah. I got a club, chat. Oh, it's kind of strong, actually. Alright. This time, stun gun ammo. Ooh. Yeah, I kind of dig the club. It feels kind of goofy. But like in a good way. God, I'm glad you ate food. Okay. I have a grenade. Nice. Now I'm worried. Either this grenade's gonna be the best thing ever, or it's gonna get me killed. Oh, I have a gun. I'll take the gun. Thank you for the gun. Hello, Moss Dwarf. How you doing? Okay, open inventory. We're gonna do all the stuff that I need to do real quick. Open. Got it. Click the gear. Whoop. Hi, Mom. Yes, this is the online boyfriend. Don't let them tell you any different. I'm 100% the boyfriend. Please, can you send me food? I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Mom, I look forward to meeting you over the weekend. I'm going to stay for a few days. It's fine. Okay, Jimmy, Palm, we're gonna enjoy your cuddle nap. Oh, you gave me sticks. I thought you took my gun. Enjoy your little cuddle nap, lovelies. All right. All right. I mean, you have free will. You might as well use it for something stupid. Right? This is peaceful. This is nice. We got health mechs. Thank you, Mr. Jack. Oh. Yeah. Now we're gonna learn how to have a just wait until our messy breakup. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be the best. And then she can comfort you, and you can be all like, "Hey, Mom, like, since I'm so sad, can you like take me out to eat food and like, and like let's have like a day together." Oh, obviously they've been cheating on me, but they will tell their mother that it was my fault and that I was just toxic the entire time. They only cheated on me because I didn't give them the attention they deserved. And mothers being mothers are going to be like, well, you know, I don't necessarily agree what you did, but like, I get it, okay? Okay. I don't know. I don't know. Like, you know, you could have. Maybe you did. It's funny. You keep giving me stuff. I'm like, yay, stuff. And then I immediately have to wait. I need a tarp, chat. There's a tarp here somewhere. Where is the tarp? 3 other streams. Oh yeah, how those streams? Yeah. I'm sorry. Did you tell me that you're watching other streamers? Chat, do all of you watch other streamers? Do all of you watch? Are you telling me I'm not the only streamer that y'all watch? Yeah. Excuse me. How could you? How could you? No, I don't believe you. Egg Smar? Egg? Did you say egg? Wait, how do I make the tent? Has anybody figured out how the... Oh, okay. You dropped everybody else, as you should. Okay. I need to figure out what I'm not doing here. So why is there another one? Okay. How do I make you? How do I make you? No. We're gonna learn how to build something. There we go. Damn it! How my boyfriend came out to his mom and how she reacted to think it was quite funny. Yeah. Tell me about how you, fuck. Oh! You know, oh god! That fell so quickly. That was insane. Okay, we're gonna... I need logs. Uh-huh. All right, chat. We are going to go tree hunting the American way. Oh, God! Oh, jeez. I mean, yes, that helps, but... Chat, I think we, I need to talk about what just happened. So, here's what happened, chat. I got teleported to a cannibal camp. And then, you made a tree fall. And the tree fell and hit the cannibal and killed me. Still asking about you? Oh, okay. Tell mom. Tell mom. My name is Gene. I like to do online streaming. I do voice acting, and I also work in IT. Yeah. So basically, we're cuddling at my best friend's place, and he sends a picture to his mom, and she was like, "Who is that?" And he responds, "My real name, real name." And she says, "Yeah, who, he, ha, ho, who, Jesus, God, I was reading chat. Yes, my boyfriend," and she sends an, "Oh, okay, cool. I like that. I like that." Okay, we're gonna see where'd Calvin go? You think Calvin's still alive? Oh, that's what Vonnie does. Oh, Calvin's still alive. I'm so glad Calvin's still alive. Proud of him. Why is it red? Pomo, you're fine. You're fine. Hi, Fifi. Good. Oh, Echo. Such a good girl. Such a good girl. Hey, could you help me with this? Wait, do I have a gun? Chat, you gave me a gun, right? No, fuck. How am I doing? I'm doing really good. I'm doing amazing. Did he just die? How you doing, lovely? Oh, can we get a shout out for Fifi? Everybody go check out Fifi. Fifi's fantastic. Whale? Oh. Huh. Huh. Calvin's dead. I'm dead. You're a sleepy girly. Get some eeps. Get some eeps. I think that might have killed us for that. Go eat Fifi. Go eat Fifi. How is it to know that you're Gene's favorite? Fifi is not my favorite, chat. Fifi is not my favorite. Don't you dare accuse me of having favorites. I don't have favorites. Hi, Mitchie. Mwah. He hates Fifi. I don't. My God. Carlist, I do not hate you. You know I don't hate you. I do think it's so funny. It's true. It's true. Fifi, I'm sorry I had to find out this way. Oh yeah, we're gonna meet in Vegas. We're gonna go meet in Vegas, and you know we're gonna get like really quickly married just so we can get divorced the next week. It's gonna be great. Our first encounter. Oh well, you don't. I didn't notice you redeemed something. What did you redeem? There's a lot of redeems happening right now. You will have to tell me what you redeemed so that I can give you a little the attention you deserve. Calvin, look at you being so stupid. Oh, Carlist, lovely. You are very, very wonderful. I have loved seeing the stuff you're working on and the cool things that you're doing. And I really, really appreciate you. I'm so happy that you are a member of this community. Honestly, you have been an incredible addition. So kind, so sweet, so forgiving. Thank you. Thank you for being as amazing as you are. All right, Calvin, follow me. You're knocking me down. Nobody is my favorite, chat. I don't have favorites. I don't have favorites. I don't play favorites. This is not a favorite competition. Gun. Yes. I do like their mom. That's fair. I do like... Is she just going around divorcing people? Ah, mother... Oh! What was that? What was that? What was that? What? Fifi, I would go to Vegas for almost nobody. You should feel special. If it was a favorite competition, who would... If it was a favorite competition, who would be winning? I would be winning. I am my own favorite. What's going on here? Oh. 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 Cool. I hope Kelvin's out. Who did this? Hey, somebody want to make me invincible for a little bit? I want to try something. Don't knock me down! No! 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 That's the opposite! It's too late, Aura. It's too late. It is too late. I didn't last. I lasted 1 hour. I only lasted an hour. Oh, it's the worst. And now we're gonna snooze the advertisement before it can come in. All right, chat. We got this. We got this, chat. I'm gonna do it. You and me. We got this. Woo! I need to make it 2 days. 2 days is all I need to make it. We got this. He's perfect every time. Okay, chat. No. You know what? You know what, chat? Let's turn this around, chat. Chat right now. Chat right now. Natürlich kann ich was auf Deutsch sagen. Was willst du, dass ich sage? Ich kann sagen, dass ich liebe alle meine liebe Leute hier. Und ich kann viel sagen. Aber mein Deutsch ist nicht so gut, so ja. War das gut? War das gut genug? Brauchst du mehr? Oder kann ich noch, kann ich bitte Englisch jetzt machen? Bitte? Ich hab nur so viele deutsche Wörter. Hast du das wirklich verstehen, Fifi? Ja, Fifi, was habe ich gesagt? Komm jetzt lieber, was habe ich gesagt? Sag es. Kann man gut verstanden? Ah, ja, du kannst besser da nicht. Nein, ich habe nicht 5 Minuten auf Deutsch reden gemacht. What the fuck is this? Hey, yo. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, there's a gun in my hand. There's a gun in my hand. Oh, it's fine. Okay. Oh, I think I'm ready, chat. Fucking spawn the last boss. Let's see what happens. But yeah, no, I'm not gonna add a 10-minute or 5-minute. No! No! Don't hit me! Oh, thank God. Thank God. That was. Oh. Okay. I think. I would never break your bones, chat. I'm gonna die. Ah, no. Ooh. I would never break your bones, chat. I just say, hey, would you like to go in my basement? My basement's a very safe and comfy place to be. Like, why would you not want to be in my basement, right, chat? You like my basement. It's safe. It's comfy. I won't force you to stay there. You just did every. Ooh. You can sneak into the attic. Yes. Beans and toast? No. Gross. What are you, British? I'm not gonna make you eat beans and toast. He is British. Oh, come on. No, I make good food. I make good food for my prisoners. Chat, viewers, lovely, kind people. You're only half British, Fania. It doesn't count. Vanya, I've seen your taste in food. You have good taste in food. You don't count as British. I'm not the one who's so far away when I see the snake bite into my knee. Never did I wanna be here again, and I don't remember who I am. All right, it's okay, sweetie. It's okay. It's okay. You good? You want a nod? It's okay, darling. Now, I'm just gonna need you to, you know, take clothing. I'm not taking your clothing. Can you, sticks, can you get me logs? And, drop here. Thank you. Alright, I believe in you, buddy. Good luck. Thank you, sweetie. Sweetie, they were ready. That one doesn't... Okay. No, it's a fine. It's fine. You... bye. Good luck. Be safe. He's going to die, chat. He's gonna die. He's not ever coming back again. I'll miss him. Well, happens. Anyways, I'm just gonna build this here. God, you know what? This has been fun. I didn't chase him off. All I did was ask him to gather me some... Oh, he brought back... He did it! Good boy! Good boy! Love you! He's the best. No, but I really do appreciate all those new faces and new people coming in. On God, I got 7 ads. Oh, I'm so sorry. Chat, can you tell them I'm sorry, that I feel bad, and I would like to apologize for the 7 ads that they received? And don't say anything different than what I just said. Don't put words in my mouth, chat. Okay, there we go. There we go. He hopes you're suffering. Gene says, womp womp, watch the ads. No! No. Chat, they're new people. You gotta be nice to new people. They're never gonna come back. They're never gonna come back. Hey Gene, why did you never make it to partner? Well, every time anything happened, my chat immediately decided to anytime ads came up, my chat decided to, you know, tell the new viewers that I hate them and I want them to die. And so, yeah, apparently that doesn't really do good with new people. I don't know, that's what I heard. Totally. I absolutely do stream in a suit. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. Oh, is he's just gonna keep going, isn't he? He's such a good boy. Look at this boy. Look at this boy. Aw, he's so kind. Chat, if you and I lived on an abandoned island and there was a bunch of cannibals everywhere and you had your ears blown out by something and you lost any ability to function without me telling you what to do, would you be a good boy like this and also get me stuff? You're getting a suicide hotline ad. You're getting a suicide hotline ad. Oh no. Oh, I joined the cannibals. I'm feeding meat to the cannibals. You wouldn't gather logs like a good boy and help me build a little house? No. Why? Why did I laugh at the idea of you feeding me to the cannibals? Because I think it's funny. Build. Yeah, just maintain the base for me. Can you do that? Good. Exactly. You couldn't hear me call you. You barbarian rage. Okay, well, that's fine. Maybe we'll build a boat. What do you think, chat? No, I don't have rope. Okay, I need... Redeem? What was the redeem? Sorry, chat, there's a lot of redeems right now. If you'd like to read me off the redeem was, I would really appreciate that so I can find it. What was the redeem? Huh? Da. Oh. Gotcha. I mean, there is me calling people bad, so technically there is a bad boy or girl redeem. Oh my... What the fuck? We're just gonna, it's fine. Don't worry about this. What, you okay, bud? Do you wanna maybe not stand up? You just, what? Chat, what is this? Is this bad? Is this good? Should I be worried? I'm just gonna do what I usually do when I don't understand a situation. Yeah, it works. Really, does he? Well, does he, lovely? You are absolute crossbow. You are very, very lovely, kind, sweet, and just absolutely amazing. You have been one of the greatest experiences I've had in the VTubing community, especially lately. You've been very kind. You're very You are just fucking orca. You are just a fucking orca. My bad. You are honestly very incredible, and I really do appreciate you. Like, I didn't know there were such good presences in this world and in this communities and in VTubing, but you are just wonderful. So very wonderful. And I'm so glad I have you in my community, and so glad you found the space. You are doing an amazing job. Don't ever let the brainworms get to you, and don't ever let others tell you that you are not amazing. You have so much worth. You are just the best. Thank you so much for redeeming the praise, and thank you, honestly, for being a member of this community. And now it's nighttime. Well, I'm going to go back home, and we're going to put down... fucking oh, God. What's he doing? Hi, buddy. I didn't mean to call you an orca. Sometimes things accidentally happen. Okay, I need to figure out how to make walls. Does anybody have any idea how to make walls? I feel like I want to make wall. Oh, a rain catcher. Oh, I'm dehydrated. Okay, we're gonna make a stone fireplace. I'm sure that's what I need. Ow! Oh, thank you for the thirst meter, Phil. Ow! Stop hitting me! Okay, let's see if we have any food. Oh, fish! Oh! Yes! Some delicious snakies. We have a little bit of this. I'm gonna put a little bit of some more. We're gonna eat a little bit of these snakes. So good. Oh shit. Why is this? Oh God, where are we now? Can't understand where I've been teleported. I hope Kelvin's okay. And now there's something here. Anyway, sorry, we're gonna stop doing that. Uh-huh. Huh. Okay. Hey, look, rope! I've been eating that. Thank you. That's worth something. Oh. Tell me how to pronounce your first name. Is it Tiger? Is your name Tiger? I want to make sure I get this right. Oh, I should probably... Can I... Is this loaded? This crossbow is so funky looking. Tiger. Tiger. You're such a bad little pet. Such a bad pet. Thank you for the redeem. And thank you. Okay. Kill nearby enemies. I'm so confused at where we are. Oh, probably. Thank you so much for the pronoun redeem. I go by he, they. Chat, what pronouns do you use? I don't know what I'm doing, chat. I am so lost right now. I hope I can figure out what I'm doing. Can I? Didn't work. She, her. Good, good, good. She, her. Night Blossom. Hi, Night Blossom. Been a little bit. How you doing? Hit player, stop hitting me. He, him, any. Love you, Aura. Try me. Ja, lieber. Was brauchst du jetzt? Was soll ich machen? Come here. She, they. Love it. Hey, look, it's Vanya. Falling around the Vanya fam. They're sneaking around being sneaky raccoons. They're sneaking through the woods, off to commit crime with guns. Follow them, watch them sin. See her and she will rob the whole city. Ow. There's so many she-hers in chat that I almost misgendered. Yeah, oh, shit, oh, fuck, hey, oh. Yeah, gun, yeah. Gun. But Tiger, was that what you're wanting? Oh, God. Shit. Oh, fuck. Fast. No, feel free to bully me. It's fun. It's fine. You can bully me all you want. I will not take any sort of negative... What do you mean I'm moaning? I don't mean to moan. Sorry. It's just... Oh, hey. I found a thing. Hi, thing. Ah. Oh! He, who, ha, he, stu, l, ha, bre. Okay. He's fine. Yeah, that's fine. We're gonna save, chat. Haha! Chat, I finally got a save! Woo! Enjoy your class. Enjoy your class. I don't like being bullied. I mean, you can tell your mom whatever you want. What the fuck? Ah! Fucking... Whew. Who did this door? Oh, thank God. Okay, okay, chat. We're gonna spend some time, you know, munching. I don't know why we just ate chips with a fork, but whatever. We have no bombs. How much ammo do I have left? Okay, we have a shit ton of ammo. I don't know what happened to the rifle. I used to have a rifle here. I think the rifle is... Oh! Okay. No, this could work. No, this could work. Yeah. Yeah, this'll work. That'll work better. Show me the money! Oh fuck! Oh fuck! Oh fuck! Motherfucker, fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck. Fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck. Hey, does anybody want to give me full health? Does anybody want to give me full health? I think that would be lovely. If you want to give me full health, that'd be amazing. Yeah, a little late on that one. It's fine. I don't expect him to charge. I don't expect him to charge. I don't expect he's gonna, you know, throw his whole body at me and just go woof. He just woof. Ocean, I'm glad you're having a good time. Ocean, how you doing, by the way? How you doing, honey? Everything going well? I should do my daily ocean checkup. No! No! Okay, it's fine. It's fine. I'm just gonna go in here. I'm gonna look to see if any, maybe some health. Yeah, there we go. We'll take some health, and just gonna take some pills. It's fine. It's fine. Just gonna look at this and take this gun. This gun's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Fucking trees! Ah! No! 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 You're fine? I'm glad to hear. Addie, you gorgeous, gorgeous, lovely you. You are kind, you are sweet, you are so, so very fantastic. I do really appreciate you. You are very, very cool, and I appreciate you so very, very much. You're doing such a wonderful job with everything right now, even while I'm getting attacked by trees, and honestly, I am so happy I got to meet you. Genuinely happy I got to meet you. You are here so very, very frequently, and you have been a lovely, lovely addition to this community. Thank you so very much for being part of it. Mwah. Thank you. No. Oh, Jesus. Okay. We're gonna take some drugs. It's fine. Thank you for the redeem. Mwah. Hey, Mr. Jack. Dun, 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 dun. Dar, you definitely could. It would be funny. No. Maybe no. You know, you do not have to. You Stop hitting me. Oh, Jesus. Okay. You know what I need to do, chat? Every time y'all start getting too many points, I just need to run one of these. That way you use all your points really quickly. Okay. Oh my God, chat, we have so much ammo. Oh, this is insane. That's fine. We're just gonna go hunt on him. No. Hey, for the lark! Appreciate it! Mwah. Did you just kill them? Are we We good? Oh, god damn it. I hate this one. I hate this one the most. Oh, fuck! Oh, boy. What the flip? Okay, we're fine. It's not like y'all can keep summoning more of these, it's fine. Alright. Okay, let me grab some water. I'm sure I have something liquid here, right? Energy drink, bet! Golden, okay. Okay. Can I combine anything? What can I combine? The repair tool. Oh! That's interesting. Thank you. Thank you for feeling thirst. I appreciate that. Oh. I didn't mean to kill the wit. I'm stuck. This is so hard to control. I got this. I got it. What's happening here? No. There we go. Okay. I'm so ready, chat. Oh, fuck. Oh, we're gonna try this again. It's fine. Woo! Oh. There's a whale. There's a shark. Where you going, shark? Where you going, shark? Why is he just... Okay. That's fine, chat. Oh, hey, there's red. Oh, fuck. You know what? I'm leaving that thing behind. I don't need it. I don't need it, chat. I don't need it. It's totally fine. We're good. We're just gonna look at what this red thing... No. That scared me. Oh. Hey, what's up, buddy? You doing okay? How you doing? How's everything? You need some help? Are you... Oh. Oh, he's dead. Ah, shark! That's fine. That's fine. Oh, I have too many grenades, chat. Okay, well. Oh, computer. Box. Flares. Yay! Oh, we're doing so good, chat. I'm doing amazing at this game. I don't know about you, chat, but I feel like I've done an amazing job. Oh, so don't do this to me. Why are you tormenting me like this? Why are you? I don't need this, chat. I shit you. I shit. I hate inverted so much. Okay. We're gonna see if we can actually complete something in this game. You ready? I see there's something out in the ocean. We're gonna build a boat. It's gonna be great. Oh, can you... Screw this deer. We're gonna build a boat, and we're gonna find it. And we're actually gonna play this game for a little bit, because I think I've eaten everyone's points. People have spent so many bits. There's no way somebody's been, like, saving points and has, like, I don't know, 70,000 some in reserve. Hi, Crucified. Why do I have money? Alright. That's fine. Who's just holding on to them, waiting until it would be the most inopportune moment to murder me. That would never happen, right? Cool. You can use bits to murder me. Mm-hmm. Okay. What the fuck was that? Ah, fuck! Okay. 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 It's fine, 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 fine. Oh. Oh, thank God. It's a shark again. He's so goofy that you... I like that some of them are just wearing clothes. That's fine. You know, nobody has done the Southern voice yet. I think that's kind of funny. We haven't had Southern voice a lot. Somebody just... Why are you giving me more money? You took my shotgun! You bastard! Actually, you know what? We're gonna use the rifle. I think the rifle, but god damn it. Alright, well, fine, I guess we're doing the Southern voice. We're gonna be stuck like this for a little while. Hope you all enjoy the Southern experience. Yeah. And now I'm gonna head my way down here, hopefully make it not die. I got a shotgun again. Thank you for the shotgun, I appreciate it. And the difficulty has been increased. Alright, I mean, hey, that's worse things happen, right? Alright, here's the plan. Here's the plan. I need to make it to whatever that thing is. I mean, really? And so I need to... God, not this thing again. Go away. Girly pop, I just need to make it out to the ocean. Hello, gray white shark. Stay alive. I'm trying not to... God damn that thing as well. What is that thing? What's that? Is that the demon? Is that Satan? God damn Satan. You see, but I'm Satan from the Bible. Oh, that's gone. Alright, well, give me a second here, chat. I'm sure we got something here. Oh, shit. No, don't look at the gun. Don't look at the gun. Stop looking at the gun. Put the gun. Stop looking at it. Wield it. Use it. Ha, 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 ha. Shit. Okay. Okay. Sure. No, no, no. What is this? Is this a selfie stick? God damn it, why do I have a selfie stick? Alright, chat, we're gonna go back in and see if I got anything else I can use. Alright, there's a rifle. Come on, come on, come on, baby girl. Keep it alive. Run away, run away. Check the inventory. No, no, I said check inventory. Inventory. Alright, so we still got... Oh, we got a shotgun again. Nice. Yep. No. Alright, I think that one's dead. And... Come on, girly. Come on, girly. Stop living. All you gotta do is lay down for me. Come on, lay down. Be a good girl. There. Come on. You're a bit tired, aren't you? Ain't no bullets in that. Alright, we'll swap it out. Swapping it back here. God damn, there ain't no bullets in that one either. Put the bullets in the gun. Put the bullets in the gun. Put the bullets in the gun. Put the... Oh, God, there's so many of them. Nope. 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 Alright, load more guns. Come on, come on, come on. Put them in. Hurry up, hurry up. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Ain't no way. Alright. Huh, fuck it. We're doing a nice try here. Come on, come on. More bullets, more bullets, more bullets. Shell, goddammit. I wish I had it. No, 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 no. You absolute degenerate, you. Clever, clever. I see what you're trying to do. I saw what you were trying to do, cuties. You tried. You tried to knock me down, but thank you for the full health. All right. A few more here. 1, 2, 3. Put a little more bullets in these guns, and I think we might have it. All right. Well, I mean, fair enough. Oh, shoot. Come on, girlie. I did not mean to shoot the shark. Oh, shark's still fine. See, shark's fine. Oh, dang it. Not this again. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh, righty. Damn, damn, damn. Damn it! What did I just say? What did I just say? But there it is. Oh, she's still alive. She's still alive. Come on. Mo bullies. I think the difficulty has already been maxed out, chat. That might be why difficulty increase ain't doing much. Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Put them in, put them in, put them in, put them in, put them in. There it is. All right. Hey, what did I say about twitching? Girl, you lay still. No. Down. I was gonna finish you off real quick. Stop twitching there. You absolute mess. That's fine. Anyways. Oh. Has it been 5 minutes yet? We still stuck in Southern for a bit. Alright, we've spawned. Oh shit. Oh! Well, chat, lovely. Unfortunately, it is 6:30, and I am on call, chat. And unfortunately, I just received a message from work saying that they need me to do some stuff. So, guess what, chat? Unfortunately, we are gonna have to come to an end here. I know, it ain't my choice. But I am on call right now. Work is giving me a little bit of a ring-a-ding-ding. So let's take a look to see who we got live right now. And we're going to go have to raid into somebody. But I appreciate y'all so very, 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 very much. Mm-hmm. Now, here's the question. Who do we raid into? I mean, we could raid into Coco the Dodo. They're doing a group smash or pass furry thingy. Nah, that ain't no fun. Y'all want to go say hi to Leon? Y'all say hi to Leon for me, all right? Leon's lovely. Leon's great. I really, really like them. They are fun person. Y'all go say hi to them. I'm going to go get some work done. And I will see you all next time. I'll be back here tomorrow morning. Same place, same time. Oh, thank you so much. You got this, Aura. Aura got it ready. Copy that raid message. It's perfect. I'll be back tomorrow, 6 a.m. And it should be a lot of fun. Yeah, I hope to see all of you there, all right? And then we're going to do another stream later on in the evening, as we always do. All right. Mwah. 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 Y'all still stink. Go take a shower. And say hi for me, all right? Bye, lovelies. Mwah.